Would you love to be living in freedom and happiness, especially if you are a caregiver, especially if you are a business owning caregiver? Hands in the air if this is you or if it describes part of who you are, because today I'm going to walk you through how to live in freedom and happiness as a caregiver, as a business owning caregiver, so that your business is thriving, you're doing the fun stuff, you're taking care of yourself, and at the same time, you are being a caregiver and the individual you're caring for is also happy, healthy, all of the things. So let me share my screen and we will dive right into this. What I'm showing you are 5 steps to freedom and happiness for caregivers. Now, this is what I walk through with my clients. And by the way, they set up their own 5 steps to freedom and happiness. They actually call it whatever they want. So think of this with you in mind, right? This is just kind of a template, an idea to, first of all, locate you. Where are you at on this path and where do you want to go? So let's get started. The first step is to identify yourself as a caregiver. And I know you're like, really, Wendy? Yeah, really. And here's why. I'll be talking with someone and they'll say, I'm not yet a caregiver. It's not time yet. I'm not there yet. And I'll be like, okay, so tell me, why are we having this conversation? What are you doing? How are you helping, or how are you involved with the individual that you're not taking care of? And they'll say, oh, well, I'm just taking them to the grocery store. I'm just taking them to the doctor. And the thing is, when they're not identifying themselves as a caregiver, the problem is they're not getting the support, resources, community to help them, to make their lives easier as the caregiver, so that they're taking excellent care of themselves, so their business is growing and thriving, so their health is good, so their relationships are good. That's actually quite the contrary. So the first step is to identify yourself as a caregiver. It's okay, you can do it, we support you. The second step is to realize that you need to ditch the guilt that you're feeling. To ditch the guilt that you're feeling around, my gosh, my time is spread out so many places and I feel like I'm being pulled in different directions. I don't have time to run my business. I feel guilty when I'm taking care of my loved one, because I feel like I should be spending that on my business. And when I'm working on my business, I feel like I should be spending that time on my loved one, or I feel like I should be spending that time with my partner or spouse or kid or whatever it is. The guilt is not serving you. What the guilt is doing is causing you to spiral into anxiety, depression, right? And you're just not feeling good. You're not taking care of yourself. So the second step is to realize what it is that you're doing to yourself. If it's feeling guilty, if it's whatever it is, what are you doing to yourself? What can you do differently? And then make a decision to do differently. If it's to set boundaries, we'll get into that in just a little bit. If it's to ditch the guilt, whatever it is, that's step 2. Step 3 is to identify and face what it is that you're avoiding. Now, I know we all have something that we're like, oh boy, I just don't even want to deal with this. And here's the thing, I get it, but when you don't deal with it, it's there. It pushes you down. It makes you feel bad. It stops you from moving forward, right? But when you can identify what it is that you're avoiding, if it's having a conversation with someone, if it's looking into finances, if it's, whatever it is, once you call out what it is that you know exactly what you're avoiding, but you shine a light on it. When you shine a light on it, it no longer has the same power over you. You can say, nope, I see you, and I'm going to make a different decision. I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to decide to do something differently, kind of like in step 2. But when you do this, when you can identify and face what you're avoiding, you take your power back, and then it's easy, if I can talk, it's more easy to manage care for your loved one, to get some relief for yourself, and to begin taking exquisite care of yourself. So that's step 3. Step 4, I mentioned boundaries a few minutes ago. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful steps that you can take, because when you set that boundary around something that's draining your energy and exhausting you, then you have the energy to focus on your own physical health, your business. You have a better quality of life. And by extension, so does the individual that you are caring for, because you are now setting that boundary, taking better care of yourself. Step 5, ask for help. Gather your circle of support so that you know you're not alone. You're not in this by yourself. And when you do that, when you hear other people talk about their challenges, being a caregiver, being a business owning caregiver, you can relate. You don't feel like you're in it by yourself. And maybe someone will ask a question that you're like, ooh, that's a good question to ask. And I'm going to lean in and listen to the answer on that. That happens too, right? So to get you to freedom and happiness, these are the steps. This is the overview that I walk my clients through, and I wanted to share that with you. And to further support you, I'm going to share in the comments a link to a quiz. Now, the quiz is going to help you to see for yourself, and then you can decide what you want to do with that information, how underwater you are, your business, your life, your job, your health, your relationship, as it relates to your caregiving. So that when you see that, you click this link that I'm going to share with you, you get access to the quiz, you take the quiz, and then you get your scoring immediately. So you can take a look, take action, and then be directed according to what you are scored. You'll also get from me some information, resources, tips to help you move forward. So take the quiz. It's my gift to you. And thank you for your time and attention. And I wish you so much health, so much happiness, so much prosperity, and just love yourself up as a caregiver. You deserve that. Okay, bye.